Season 4, Episode 4 of Only Murders in the Building, titled The Stuntman, is probably the funniest I've ever watched of this series so far. It's really well written. It's 35 minutes long, and the episode starts off where we see Charles Hayden Stavich, played by Steve Martin, having a dream and following Saz, played by Jane Lynch, in a forest, and she's saying, "Hey, come on, I'm going to paradise." And, Charles doesn't know what that means or what it is. So he wakes up at 3 a.m., and then he kind of wakes up Mabel and Oliver and tells them, "Here, look, I made this thing of my own kind of murder board to see what's going on, and I have this, what's paradise, what's going on?" And it's like, okay, where can I figure things out? And then all the while that's all happening, we have an underlining story between Oliver and Mabel. Now, Oliver's underlining story is that he is kind of jealous that Loretta is off to do her thing, but he's on her Instagram and he sees someone's arm around her shoulder, and he's like, what is happening? What's going on? So he kind of makes a Finsta, which is a fake Instagram account. It comes up with a name, Ronnie, comes up with this whole character identity to message with Loretta's character. And it's like, oh, okay, what is going on? What's happening? So, kind of Mabel takes the iPad from Oliver and says, "What is this? What's going on?" It's like, "What is this Concussions place?" And then Charles knows, and it's the Concussions is a bar for stuntmen. So Charles, Oliver, and Mabel go to the bar, and they try to figure out what happened to Saz, but they're not talking at all to him. Charles tries to bribe the bartender with a $5 bill, a $1 bill, takes out a 20, and tries to say, "Hey, can you break this? Give me a 5." It's really, really funny, and there's some commotion going on in the background. And all of a sudden, someone comes out, someone rolls out, and you see that it's Paul Rudd's character. You're like, Ben Gilroy's alive? No, it's not. It's Ben Gilroy's stunt double or stuntman who looks exactly like him, and it's really, really weird. And he has this Irish accent, and he tries to push everyone out and kind of, saying what's going on. And there's a light coming in from the back room, and we say, "Woman, go back there." It's like, what is really, really happening? Mabel's like, "I gotta get in there," and Charles is like, "No." Tries to get Ben Gilroy stuntman to take him to the back. He does so, and we see that the whole thing is that it's Dr. Maggie, who she is a chiropractor for the stuntman, who kind of puts things back in the right place because of what they did. Charles has a guilty conscience because he thinks he's the one that caused Zaz to not be happy or anything like that. But it's really, really interesting, and kind of in a way you see the Dr. Maggie kind of fix Charles in a way, puts him in a state where she cracks his back and he falls to sleep for maybe a minute or so. Another revelation comes, and it's like, what is happening? What is going on? And then, he says, "Come with me to paradise." He wakes up, still doesn't know what paradise means and all. So then the absolute thing happens is that Charles leaves, and then we see the story of Mabel, where we see Howard squatting where Mabel's squatting in Dudenoff's apartment in the West Tower, and then with the pig who has so many different names, which is really, really funny. And in a way, Howard kind of is taken away from the apartment that he's supposed to be watching because a flyer is put under the door, and it says, "Oh, taking auditions now for the Only Murders in the Building movie." So he goes to audition, and it's like, what is going on? What's happening? You have the producers, you have the directors, it's like, oh, they're like, "Am I playing myself?" It's like, "No, Josh Gad is playing you in the movie." It's a really funny scene. It's like, you can actually see Josh Gad playing Howard in the Only Murders in the Building movie. So when this is all happening, we see that Oliver's character, who he created on Instagram, Ronnie, is really, really, kind of, in a way, how to say it, really, really getting to Loretta, and they're talking, they're bonding. Oliver likes that. Mabel's like, "You need to stop this right now." So then Howard comes in, and it's like, "I can't do this anymore. Our one-time relationship is done. It's over." And then Mabel's like, "Who's watching the Dudenoff apartment?" She runs over there, and as she goes in, the door's open, and it's like, what? You see Alfonso, Vince Fish, Rudy, Inez, Anna, and you're like, what is going on? And all four of them have a little secret. And the secret is, and they try and get Mabel in on it, is that they've been kind of living at the Arconia for less than what it is, because it's kind of a rental scheme thing, or scam, or whatever they called it. They're paying Dudinov $200 to stay there, while Dudinov sends them that ham that you saw in the previous episode, where they're cutting it in the bathroom and eating it, or the flag of Portugal, because Dudinov is in Portugal. And it was like, who was on that ham radio? And we find out that it's Rudy's ex-Finnish girlfriend, Helga. And it's like a whole back and forth. So the truth comes out with what's going on with the so-called, how Mabel called it, the cult. Or, it's really, really funny. And then we see where Mabel, Oliver, and Charles are talking, playing cards, and it's like, what is really, what are they trying to figure out? Mabel tells Oliver to, close the account out, stop. He's like, I can't do it. So Mabel does it for him. And then Charles is like, yeah, funeral for, and it's like, oh. And then the stuntman really couldn't hold a funeral for Saz, because if there's no body, there's no funeral. So he goes to the bar and lays there on the pool table, and they kind of say their condolences. And it's like, they're one of the breakaway bottles, where the beer bottles you crash, but then an actual beer bottle is hit over Charles's head, and he's knocked out for another, I want to say, 2 minutes. And we see Saz and Charles again back in the day, talking about what's going on and everything. And Saz is like, yeah, I'm going to open up my own Stuntman Academy, the Saz Pataki Academy for Stuntman, so and so. And it's like, oh. And then Charles wakes up and he figures out what Paradise is. Paradise, New Jersey is where the location of Saz's Stuntman Academy is. So they go there, and Oliver's like, wasn't this a waste area? He's like, yeah, the government cleaned it up. Charles is like, okay. So they go, they see the door open, they go in, and someone is in there. And that's the end of the episode. They do show who it is, but I'm not going to give that away. You just have to watch the episode. This was a fun episode. These stories are so easy to follow, really, really fun, really in your face. The dynamic of the actors, the characters, the vibe that every single character has in this show is friggin' phenomenal. I still don't understand. 4 seasons in, maybe 3 seasons in, so far, after it's been nominated for so many awards, it has not won a substantial awards yet. But it should, because the writing is great, the acting is great. Seeing Steve Martin and Martin Short together is always fun. Selena Gomez along with them for the ride is great. Seeing Paul Rudd again playing a different character and being an Irish stuntman is really, really hilarious. And then you have the aspect of Jane Lynch having a prominent role in this season, which is good as the stuntman Saz Pataki. So I really love it. And then now we know what the whole West Tower is doing. Who else is involved? What is the aspect of Dudinov? Will we see Dudinov? And the aspect of what the what the West Tower knows, because Saz basically was asking too much about the West Tower people, and then the West Tower people were like, we have never met Saz, we don't know anything about that. So it's like, okay, what is really, really happening in this kind of series? Who did it? Who done it? Why? It's really, really getting good. And this season is 10 episodes, and it's renewed for a 5th season. You know that they will solve this murder in this season, and then something else will happen at the end of season 4, the season 4 finale, and then that will regenerate. And what will happen in season 5? Mind blown, exciting stuff. Probably the best comedy drama or dramedy that's been out for a long time. Great delivery of lines. It's dry humor. It's fun. It's just works so well. The chemistry between everyone is really, really great. I absolutely love this season. It's probably my favorite of all the seasons of Only Murders in the Building. Let me know in the comment section below what you thought about this episode of Only Murders in the Building. Did you like it? Did you not like it? What did you think of it? Do you think too much is going on? What do you think the aspect of the mystery unraveling? Who do you think killed Saz? Do you think they were actually going after Charles? Or do you think Charles was the target? What is the whole aspect of the West Tower, Dudinov, the whole cult thing? Will Oliver, forgive himself for doing what he did to Loretta? What's the whole aspect of Howard? And where is everything going? And do you think everything will fall into place? And will the secrets be revealed? And as to why? And it's, this is only the 4th episode. So many things still need to be answered and so many questions. Let me know in the comment section below about all the questions I just asked. I'm Mr. Filmstock. Thanks so much for tuning into my review. I'll see you all in the next review video. And be sure you tune in next week for my Season 4 Episode 5 review of Only Murders in the Building.